Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Ryan, a veterinarian and a veterinary behavior residency graduate.
And I'm Dr. Serena. I'm also a veterinarian and a veterinary behavior resident. So, Dr. Ryan, did you want to show the viewers the question that we got?
Let me share it if I can. Technology is so complicated. Let's do this. Here we go.
All right. So, it looks like they had commented on my cat walking across in front of the screen. For those of you who haven't seen the previous episode, feel free to go back there. But essentially, my cat blocked the view of the camera. I get used to it. But this commenter says, what about these cats here? Are they just being jerks? What do you think, Dr. Orion?
Yes, it's actually something that I'm being asked a lot, and as you said, it's kind of like a very common.
Are cats just jerks?
Right. I mean, I guess some of them, like some people, are jerks. It depends.
They're deliberately knocking things off the table. Just
yeah. That,
especially the glass. That's like your more expensive glassware.
Yes. And many times they will do it only when you're there to actually watch them do it. And like, they're looking at you and like, hey, no. Yeah, but I think the question here should be broken down into two things, because one, he was asking about getting in front of the television or in front of the computer screen while we're working on it, and the other one I think was biting, like showing your belly, and the second that you say, "Oh, such a belly," and you start rubbing your cat's belly, he kind of like bites you. And so, I mean, the two things might be connected to each other and kind of like explained by the same thing, but they might also have different reasons. So let's start with standing in front of the television or in front of the screen. I think the most common reason would be attention-seeking behavior, right? And by the way, knocking things off the table or off the shelves, and starting to kind of like try to play with you only in the middle of the night and all of that, many times is a result of some attention-seeking behavior. And cats are really good at getting it from us and training us, and they know how to get us to interact with them. Now, many times people think that, how can it be attention-seeking if we get mad at the cat and scream at the cat and gets frustrated and all of that? But those people probably don't have any kids. They would know that when even kids want attention, they will even do bad things to get their parents' attention. Sometimes horrible things. So it's a well-known thing. The cat jumps on the screen or in front of the screen, and like everyone starts shouting and like, no, move it. And it's always kind of like when everyone is like, that's someone's gonna score the touchdown or something like that, and then the cat jumps on it. Or you're on a Zoom conversation and your cat or making a podcast and your cat jumps on the screen and has his butt to the camera. Of course, he has the butt to the camera because they're usually facing us.
Yeah.
They want us to pet them.
Yeah.
So I think that in most cases, this behavior is attention-seeking. What do you think?
So for my cat Yo-Yo, I would say there's two reasons why she wants to be in front of me near the laptop. So attention-seeking is probably the number one, which we can always talk about how we have accidentally reinforced I'm going to put problem because it's only a problem for us. It's not a problem.
Exactly.
But the problem behavior of walking across the screen has been accidentally reinforced because I might pick her up and then move her. And then that's part of the reinforcing behavior, is that she did get a moment of attention, even if it was not the attention that she needed. And so then next time she might be a little bit more persistent and cling to my shoulder, and I might be like pulling her off and all the claws are pulling my shirt.
Yeah.
So attention seeking. And then the other one is the laptop's nice and warm and she likes to lie on it. So seeking warmth in general.
Yeah. I mean, so that's actually also something that I was thinking, kind of like the second reason that would, I think, would explain it. So yeah, the temperature of the screen, or no, maybe even the static electricity that sometimes the screen might have. I think that some cats actually enjoy it. I can't say for sure. I mean, there's no like study that checked it, but
yeah,
maybe they like it.
Yeah,
maybe they know.
I know. I know that I have accidentally reinforced her behavior of jumping up on the kitchen counter. So I have two cats. One is my older cat. She's 9 years old, and she was jumping up on the counter for food. So in order to decrease the behavior of jumping up on the counter for food is, one, you don't have food on the counter, but two, reinforcing the behavior of being on the floor. So if food was the reinforcer, then she developed it to be like, I lie down by your feet and I wait for snacks. And then I don't need to jump on the counter for the snacks because you will reinforce this behavior while I'm sitting here.
Human slave, give me food.
Yeah. So my older cat was easy to train because food was the reinforcer. I didn't need to do anything else other than reinforce a behavior that was alternative to jumping up on the counter. Now, the younger cat, her reinforcer was not food, but attention. And so I accidentally reinforced, and I didn't realize it until I realized that, hey, there isn't any food, and she's at the edge of the counter doing this, reaching with her paws, trying to get to me. And so I was like, oh no, I've reinforced this behavior. So then I was like, oh no, how am I gonna? So then I was like, okay, well, come over here and get some attention. And then I was like, oh, maybe I can ignore it and then pretend like it's not happening. But then we went on holidays and we had a cat sitter, and now she's just on the kitchen counter.
Yeah.
Who cares about rules? Whatever.
Yeah.
Still when I'm eating or cooking, I don't like her there. So I use more of a management strategy. I put her, she's crate trained. So I actually put her in a crate when I'm cooking or eating.
So what would you recommend to someone that's kind of like saying that they have an issue with the cat jumping on the screen, whenever they're in a Zoom call or in general when they're watching TV and the cat, and we do think that it's kind of like attention-seeking behavior.
If it's attention-seeking, if you have, let's say, for instance, set them up for success, you give them attention before you go into your meeting. For example, I'll just use Cola. Cola is our puppy. So I said to my husband, I'm like, I need to take her out. I need to give her some activity so that when I come on the call with you, she's not in the background going, because that's really what she would be doing.
Yeah.
Which is another attention-seeking behavior, is just whining at me. Right now, she's napping, but that's because I ensured that she had enough activity, attention, she's been fed, she's been outside to eliminate, and all of her needs are done except for sleeping. And the same goes for cats, except for that most cat owners don't implement sleep training.
Yeah.
Like expect their cat to just like go and lie down and have a nap. But not all cats will do that.
Yeah. So you say like exercise the cat or kind of like try to manage the sleeping habits so they will fit correctly and nicely to the time that your schedule is to be in front of the computer.
Exactly. So if you play with your cat with a wand toy, you make sure that they've had some cuddle time, and then you can lock them in a bedroom with some snacks. And once they've eaten and maybe used the litter box, they can just sleep. Because cats should be sleeping 16 to 18 hours in a 24-hour period. If they're not, they're probably also more agitated.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes it might even indicate some problem, a behavioral or medical problem. Like if we see that the cat is, up all the time and always trying to do something, maybe it's actually related to stress. And then you need to deal with that as well. Not just...
Or pain. Or pain would be another.
Or pain, yeah. Yeah.
So do you want to talk about the second topic?
Yeah.
So cat who's rolling around, showing you belly, and then you go in and you pet the cat and it grabs onto you and starts kicking you and doing the little bunny feet.
Yes. Yeah, they have the tendency of becoming land sharks. I don't remember if I ever... Yeah, I think I even told it in one of our previous episodes that like the worst animal attack that I ever had in all my years as a veterinarian, as someone that actually deals with aggressive pets as part of my profession, and even before that as a regular person, the worst attack ever was by my brother's cat. And I can't really blame him, the cat, or my brother.
What's just you can't blame your brother. Yeah,
you can always blame my brother. But the cat was outside. It was like an indoor-outdoor cat. It was outside, and I was coming to visit my brother, and the cat came to me, kind of like rubbing on my leg, kind of like the description here. And I said, "Oh, it's going to be so cute if I knock on my brother's door, holding the cat in my hands." And that was a big mistake, because the second that I picked him up, he freaked out. He bit my finger deep, so deep.
Oh,
and,
no.
And as he said, he kind of like with his back legs, he did this bunny kicking. Now they say that like tigers and then all of the big feline do it to kind of like rip their prey's abdomen apart.
Yeah,
they're kind of like because they usually don't kill them with their bite itself.
Right,
they might choke them with the bite, but So my hand was, instead of him opening the door and me holding a nice little kitty, he opened the door with me bleeding everywhere.
Bleeding. Oh no.
Yeah, and of course I had to get antibiotics. My hand was very, like, probably 3 times the size because of the infection and inflammation and a lot of pain. But again, that was my fault because the cat was, didn't actually want to be picked up. And that brings me back to kind of like the original question, and why do cats do it? So because many times we're just not very good at understanding cat behavior. So we automatically think that cats might be kind of like dogs and showing, and by the way, it's not always true in dogs either, but we think that if the cat is rolling on its back, it means that he's actually showing, signs of submission, or he's actually showing you, look, I'm giving you my exposed belly. It means that I trust you, or it means that, oh yeah, you're scratching me over the ear. Now scratch me on the belly, and that's not true. That's exactly the problem. The fact that the cat is rolling on its back and while you're petting him doesn't mean that he wants you to pat his belly. It's a normal behavior for a cat to do, and the problem is with us. They might actually do that to stop the interaction and not to have us pet their belly. So of course I know that maybe someone's gonna comment below and say something like, no, my cats always lets me do it. Great for you. But in probably most cases, if a cat is showing you your belly, showing you his belly, and you touch it, there's a very good chance that very fast he's going to bite your hand.
Yeah. So the fact that they do it, that part is normal behavior. If they don't do it, I would say that that's the abnormal.
Yeah. Biting or showing the belly?
If they're showing your belly and then you go and touch them, the grabbing action it's instinctive.
Right.
So it, like the 12 milliseconds before they cognitively realize that it's like, oh, actually, that's my owner's hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's so instinctive that they'll immediately grab on, and maybe they'll be like, and then 12 milliseconds later, they're like, oh, it's you, and you're not trying to hurt me. So it's like a natural behavior for them to actually attack things that are on their belly. But that goes to, like you said, our misunderstanding of cat behavior. What are cat affiliative behaviors? So when you think about cats and social grooming, they're allowed to kind of socially groom around the chin, around the ears, areas where that particular cat cannot lick or groom.
Exactly.
You can lick your paw and do this, but like if I want somebody to, clean around my ear, it's easier if I do this, and then you can do mine. Mm-hmm. But another cat does not groom the belly of its friend.
Right. I mean, when we watch them play together, even mostly kittens, of course, we see that it will be a part of the normal play. Yeah. So we will see that, one cat, while they're playing, and actually, if they're playing and not fighting, it's going to be they're going to alternate. It's not always going to be the same cat that's on his back. It's going to be, if it's always the same cat on their back, it might actually be fighting and not playing. But if every time there's another cat on the back, then it's of course more likely to be playing. But you will see that it's actually a posture that will allow them to grab the other cat more easily in that situation. And again, usually it's kind of like a playful situation, although it might also happen in an actual conflict. But as you mentioned, they're not gonna, there's not a chance that one cat will lay on his back and the other will just come and start like grooming his belly or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not normal. Again, it might happen, but it's not a normal thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then we can even talk about how if you do have a kitten and your kitten is small, and the likelihood of your kitten substantially hurting you when you go to play with them, I would recommend not to use your hands for that kind of play, because as they get older, they will continue to have that behavior in their repertoire because of prior learning experience. So they might think that, hey, this is actually play and this is how we play, but they don't realize that they're hurting you. So I don't think that you should use your hand for play. Always have some sort of toy as a barrier, especially the ones that have wands, because then there's a large distance between the hand and the actual physical toy.
Yes. Yeah, I love all those that look like fishing rods with a feather and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're giving tips about how to play with cats, I would also say that cats have a very, again, kind of like kids, a very short attention span many times, and they get bored really fast with the toys. So if you leave all of the toys laying around the house all day long, they're going to get tired of them and they're not going to continue playing with it. So the best thing to do is actually kind of like keep them somewhere in the box where the cat can't reach, and only introduce, one or two or three every time, and kind of like alternate between them. So to kind of like, retain that novelty of the toys, and then they don't get bored so fast.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else to talk about with those two?
I mean, I guess we have a lot, but I think that today we're gonna keep it shorter. Of course, like always, if anyone has any other questions or wants more clarification, or just is mad that we said that cats don't like being patted on the belly and their cat does like it, because I know some of you are thinking that, feel free to write it. We're not gonna judge you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.